we get back in to answer questions and things like that, I'll come back on camera. So I'm just going to get.
I will just pipe in here to say that that recording didn't actually start when I thought it did. So I had introduced Maria Herrala from Encompass Employee Assistance Program, and I apologize for it not being on the tape. So thank you so much, Maria.
Not a problem. All right, and I want to see how I can do this. All right, can everybody still see my slideshow? Okay, great. So once again, real briefly, I'm going to talk about who we are. About 5 years ago, we were incorporated underneath All One Health EAP. As you can see on the far right side, there's a group of all the smaller EAPs that were all underneath one umbrella. And this year, All One Health has celebrated 50 years of service to individuals and the communities and the organizations that we serve. So there's a lot of advantages of being part of a bigger organization, but the nice thing is we are still able to offer that small feel of face-to-face counseling and being able to serve the clients and still kind of keep all of the Encompass branding and who we are as a smaller EAP as well. Our philosophy, whether it's Encompass or part of the All One Health, is more of a holistic approach, really focusing on bridging those gaps between individuals' physical and mental health, focusing on individual as well as the organization to really create opportunities for a positive, engaged culture and productivity, and focusing on a healthy workforce. So you can kind of see, and we're going to be going down all these different areas of different services as you see on the slide as well. We're going to go in more in depth on those. So all the different types of services that we offer at this point. The first one is mental health counseling. And all of these benefits are available to you as the employee, as well as any family members living in your household. The mental health counseling will be provided by a master's level counselor. We have to be able to access our services. You can do that via phone, your mobile app. We're working on a chat function, and we also video services. We do have somebody that is available 24/7. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have your counseling sessions at 2 in the morning, but we do have individual counselors who are on call. So there is a live person that if it is 2 in the morning and you are in the middle of a crisis or you are feeling overwhelmed that you really need to talk to somebody, when you dial in our number, you will reach a live person who will then transfer you to a counselor who is available. So you're not going to be talking to a recording or anything like that. So there is help available 24/7. The other big thing is these services are free of charge to you. These benefits, the Mid-Michigan Library League is purchasing these benefits in hopes that the employees and family members will take advantage if you are struggling with something. So we are not billing your insurance. There's no copays. There's no deductibles that you have to meet when you use any of our services. So that's the big plus, is that it is free. The other big plus that I like to put out here now is confidentiality. That means several different things, but first and foremost, whatever you talk to a counselor about remains between you and that counselor. I am a counselor, and I also state that, but also the exceptions would be if anybody are at risk of harming themselves or somebody else, or child abuse or elder abuse. By law, we do need to report those things, but nothing goes back to your organization or your company. Cheryl and I talked, there will be a quarterly report. On that report is a number, and everybody falls underneath the same report, which we talked about. So it doesn't really matter what library you're from, you're not going to be singled out. If it's your library and there's only 2 people maybe at that library, it all falls underneath everybody in the library league. So that way it does make sure confidentiality is important, so nobody's going to be singled out. And we kind of divide our report a little bit with the services of employees using it versus family members as well. So once again, it's one big, the 2 different numbers there. So you can be assured that confidentiality is being held, because that's very important to us. And with the mental health counseling, really anybody can call us for any reason. Some of the ones you see on the screen, whether you're having family conflict or relationship issues going on, you're questioning whether or not you or maybe a loved one is suffering some substance abuse. You're seeking a better work-life balance. Maybe you're feeling you're under a lot of stress right now. And that might be what a lot of us are going through right now, especially with the way the world is today. Or maybe you've been diagnosed with some depression, or you have a loved one that has passed away and you're experiencing some grief, anxiety. You're a new parent, you want to talk about what's going on. There's a multitude of reasons that you can call us and we are available to help you. If it happens to be one of those issues that might be outside of the EAP, which is really for some short, brief sessions. One of the things I didn't mention is you do receive up to 5 counseling visits, which are free of charge. So when I talk to somebody too, if something is brought up that it might be longer term counseling that is necessary, we can work out whatever it is that we can work through in that 5 sessions and then help you get referred on if you need some of the longer term counseling as well. So once again, we would much rather have somebody call in and talk about whatever issue and have us help either give you resources or provide the counseling versus just like, I don't know if that's really worth calling into, and you don't call in. We'd rather have you call in, have a discussion, and make sure that we're able to offer you some assistance.
Maria, would you like questions at the end or during your presentation?
Doesn't really matter to me.
I have a question.
Okay, go right ahead then.
And I think others do too.
Sure.
Is it 5 counseling visits per what? Per an issue or per? Can you?
Sure. No, thanks for saying that. Sometimes I get so going and I forget a few things. It is per issue. So once again, we do like to make sure that it's not like, I got this issue, this issue, and all of a sudden you have 20 issues, because sometimes it might, some of them might be longer term. So if it is a longer term issue, let's say sometimes depression can be, and if it does require some longer term, then that is something that we would discuss about getting longer term counseling through your insurance. But it might be after you hear today's benefits and you realize that you're just stressed out, probably not with your job, but let's just say there's a little bit of job stress going on, and you call and you use the service and you get the help you need within whatever 5 sessions you have. And then let's say, unfortunately, the holidays are coming up and you've had a loved one passed away and you're really struggling during the holidays. You can call us back again in December and, use the service again. And then, gosh, in August, there's a big transition going on and you're struggling in August again and something comes up. You can feel free to give us a call again. So once again, that's why it's kind of a short-term brief, because we want to be able to help you when you need it and not just, you happen to use it in January, now you have to wait till next January. That is not the case. And once again, when I say family members living in the household, it might be your mother-in-law is living with you and she is going through some stressful situations. Yes, she is available to call us to get some assistance, because we know really anybody in the household that's experiencing some type of stress or anything going on with them, it affects everybody in the household. So once again, that's why we make it available to anybody in the household as well as the employee. I guess I'll stop for a minute. Any other questions just with the counseling aspect? Okay, we'll move on, and we'll still have time at the end as well in case there's more as well. The next slide talks about life coaching. Once again, it's free, up to 5 sessions for the employee and the family member. What I find is a little different with life coaching versus counseling is you don't go as deep. It's more about, helping somebody with a life transition, getting them from where they are now to where they want to go in the future. So once again, it's kind of focusing on maybe enhancing communication skills, improving their stress or their time management, finding ways to make a better work-life balance, working on better self-care habits, living a more purposeful life, really focusing on being able to help people set goals and then take those action steps to help them move forward. So those are some of the areas that people can call in for the life coaching. Then you have the legal and financial resources. Once again, we know sometimes people can have an issue regarding legal or financial, and the counselors at Encompass, that is not our expertise. but we do know a lot of people experience these things. So that's why we partner with the legal and finances resources. So under the legal assistance, you know, maybe it's something that you have to consider bankruptcy, or you're going through a divorce and looking at custody issues, or you want to be proactive and you're looking about setting up a will and estate planning, adoption, elder care, anything in that legal assistance area. Is if you call us, call the same main number, and you let somebody know, gee, I need to talk to somebody with the legal financial issues. We will get you set up with somebody that is an attorney or somebody that has the financial certifications to help you in those areas. And then once again, with the financial assistance, it could be the bankruptcy, home buying. You have a child that's going to be going off to college. You want to know how to do the college planning, or you're thinking about retirement and wanting to make sure everything's in place financially for you to be able to get to that point in life. Once again, we could help you with, a counselor could help you with the stressfulness of going through those transitions, but we're going to make sure you also have that benefit of talking to a financial expert or a legal expert. Once again, these are free services, and the legal assistance, you will get a free 30-minute consultation. And then if you decide you want to continue to use that same person going forward, you do get a discount off their hourly rate. And you can use it. You might have, you know, after we talk today, tomorrow, you might have a legal or financial question that you want to call in and have that consult. Wonderful. 6 months down the road, you might have another issue coming up. You can call in again to have another question with a legal or financial expert. So once again, it's not just once a year, it's as you have different questions arise, you can call in and ask those questions. And you also might be using several benefits at the same time. It doesn't mean you can only use one benefit each time, because you might be seeing a counselor as well as talking to a legal expert as well. The personal assistant, this is one of our newer benefits that we're offering. It is one of the things that I thought, well, I better at least try it to see exactly how it works. And it's really exciting, I think, because it really helps people manage some of your everyday tasks, or trying to get some of that starting work kind of off your plate. So for example, you might be looking to do some traveling. I am lucky enough to be able to go on a vacation in a couple of weeks. So what I thought I would do is reach out to a personal assistant to get me some information about where I'm going. I provided where I was going, how long I was going to be there, and I asked them if they could help me find some different restaurant. What were some of the travel options? I thought I might want to be renting some bikes and trying to figure out what's the best place to rent a bike. So I provided all the information, and the personal assistant then spent some time researching it and sending back to me a list of all the different resources that were available. And then it was going to be up to me to call and either book the bike rentals, to make a reservation at the restaurant, and then to actually pay for those services. So you will never be giving your credit card, and the personal assistant will never be paying for any of this on your behalf. That will be something that you need to do, but they'll do all that legwork for you at the beginning. Another example I like to use is one of my coworkers, her daughter is just going to get ready to start driver's training. So she actually gave her daughter the task of using the personal assistant to find out what are all the different driver training resources in their area, so that they could figure out what the cost was going to be, what days where certain things were available, what was going to really make the best sense for their family, because they had a lot going on as well with different sporting events and parents working. So the daughter did the personal assistance, then they had some resources available so that they could really make a good choice about what was going to work out best for a driving training experience for their daughter. So I really would advise you to, if you have some things going on that you want to try this out. Somebody else thought about, you know, there's a lot of different meal delivery services, whether it's Blue Apron or HelloFresh, you know, that you might want to research, because maybe you decide, you know, you're tired of doing a lot of grocery shopping and you want to see what are some of those resources that you might be able to look at. You can ask some of those questions. They will then get back to you about those home food delivery services that are available. Then you can kind of choose what makes the most sense for your family. So once again, it's, you know, a couple days to a week turnaround where you'll get your answers back. And a lot of that will depend on just really how busy and how many different tasks that they're working on as well. But There are forms to fill out, and I'll kind of show you that as well as we're going through some more. So it really is a neat, I think, benefit that really, for whatever areas, it might be something that you want to check out. Yes.
And I have another question. How often, what is the limitation on this service? I think actually going back to the legal and financial resources, I think I heard you say one time a year.
Nope, nope, you can use it. You might have several different questions. So anytime you have a question, you can call in to, yep.
Okay.
And how about, I believe that's the same with personal assistant.
Okay.
I think, Cheryl, it did say on there a limit of a half hour or something. That was the limitation I saw on the financial.
Yeah, it was a 30-minute consult you'll get. And then if you want to like continue to use the attorney, let's just say after the 30-minute consult, you think is a good fit and you really want to use their service going forward, then at that point you would discuss with them what their rate is, and then you get the discounted rate with them. Yep. So thanks, Patty.
Nice. Very good. Thank you.
Yep. Good questions. All right. Then the next one just talks about work-life resources. Once again, it's navigating practical challenges of life while trying to handle the demands of your job can be really stressful. So it might be that you need help looking for childcare, elder care, wellness opportunities. Maybe you want to go on vacation and not only using the personal assistance for that, but now you realized, oh, you need to find care for your pet while you're gone. Once again, you can reach out to one of our employees that handle these services, and they can help give you those resources. Once again, it will be your responsibility then to make sure you're making the best choice for yourself or your family, and then being able to follow the guidelines of what you need to do to secure some of these resources. But once again, it takes the guesswork out. You don't have to go on Google, and hopefully you get to some really good resources through Google. We have vetted resources available that we have somebody that can pull it all together for you just to make your life a little more smoother, less stressful. And we really expanded, just COVID was also a part of this process, but of how you can access the services. It's not just you have to reach out to us via telephone anymore. We are available for telephonic 24/7. You can reach somebody. We also provide video counseling. They're still in the process of fine-tuning the chat functionality, so you can do that, text back and forth with a counselor. You can access the benefits through the mobile app or web portal. Once again, we try to make it as easy as possible for employees and their family members to reach out to access any of these benefits. The next one is the My Life Expert. It's one of our portals where we have a wealth of information available to you. There's articles, there's videos, there's worksheets, there's different assessments that you can look at. There's checklists, there's webinars. There's just a lot of information. And I'm going to go through that a little bit at the end so you can get a sense of everything that's included in there. But in order for you to have access to My Life Expert, it's important that you set up your profile to get into that. And you can either visit the mylifeexpert.com on your computer, or you can scan the QR code to start this process. And I believe I sent Cheryl some information that she can pass out as well. And if it's not included, I'll make sure you all get that if after the fact today that you want to go on and make sure you log on to My Life Expert, you'll have the step-by-step instructions on how to do that as well. But basically, just in a nutshell, you're going to create a new account. And to start off, though, everybody has to use the same company code. And the company code is MMLL-EAP. You probably guessed it, short for Mid-Michigan Library League EAP. But once you log in for the first time, you're going to create your own personal username. That is going to stay the same. So once you start, write that username down. Then you're going to access it the first time through the MMLL-EAP. And then you will then get an email back. And then on that email is the activation. And then you will then choose your own personal access code. Then you'll change it at that point. So everybody goes in first for the company one. And then when you actually get the activation code, you set up your own so that no one else can access it but you. And if you want to share that with your family members, you are more than able to do that as well. And then if you want to keep this information as well, I don't do the technology part of My Life Expert, but in case there are any issues, you have any questions about that, they are available from 9 to 5 Eastern time at the telephone number 404-767-0064, or there's an email support@lifeexpertnow.com. In case you have any issues regarding that, they are the experts there that they can help walk you through any questions. And I'm sure Cheryl can make this available to everybody in case you didn't get it now.
So what I was going to say about making these things available is that I'm going to repopulate the area of our website that has information about Encompass EAP, and it will have all the most current resources there. And when we have this video complete, I will post this there as well. So you
Great,
will be able,
you.
and then I'll send out a message to everybody. So it will be there for you.
Yeah. And what we find too, and we talk to everybody, especially when we're onboarding new companies, is it really is important to keep this out in front of people because it is a lot of information to start with, and you may not even need any of it right now. But we really want to make sure that if somewhere down the road, if something does come up in your life or a family member's life, that you do remember you have this benefit and reach out to us. So that's why we always make sure it's put it out there now and kind of occasionally put out some more information so it is available to everybody. So once again, the best number to reach us is the 800-788-8630, or you go to our website, which is encompass.us.com. So what I'm going to try to do now, I want to go to the encompass.us.com and show you, it's kind of like our landing page.
I would suggest that you stop screen sharing. And then on your computer, you make sure that your active page is the website that you want to share with us.
Okay.
And then go to screen sharing again and see if it can be an option that you can pull up.
Thank you. Okay, yes, because I did have it there. So screen share again. No, I had it in my browser. So let me.
It can be a little fussy with what you have currently.
Yep, nope, I'm glad you mentioned that.
I've run into this before. Yeah.
So, oh, here we go. All right. So now if it's there, sorry about this, technology is not, okay, so. Okay, screen share. Oh, here it is, okay. I hope this is gonna be it.
And I'm glad to pull it up on my side.
Okay.
If Sue's doesn't work. Oh, there it is.
Is it showing?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right, great. So when you go to encompass.us.com, here's kind of our landing page. Couple different options. You'll see up here, request counseling. So let's say you don't feel like calling and you just want to go and send an email. You can hit the request counseling. There'll be a series of questions. You'll fill out all the information. You'll hit send. It will go to somebody on our team, and then they will reach out to you about setting up some counseling. Same thing with work-life resources. You can click on here. It'll bring up the questionnaire. You fill it out. You hit submit. It will go to a staff member, and they will reach out to you about whether it's legal, the financial, it's the personal assistant, anything like that. You can get the information there. Or you want to go to the My Life Expert. You can click here and go to the member portal and pull it up that way. But before I do any of that, I also want to scroll down here. It gives you all the different type of resources that I've kind of went by. Gives you our telephone number here on the main page. Talks about live immediate assistance if you need it. The mental health counseling, work-life resources. So once again, real quick, very fast, you can get on here and I'll give you all the resources that I just recently reviewed with you. We also kind of have a generic orientation video. If for some reason you would like to pull this up and watch it, or Cheryl said you can go back and watch this video as well. And then when you are on My Life Expert, there's all this different information, the health and lifestyle assessments, calendars, the checklist, soft skill courses, resource locator if you're trying to find something. All the information about the portal right here at your fingertips. You can go down and click webinars. There's a lot of good information. In fact, I just sent Cheryl this morning the updated October through December live webinars that are going to be happening that you can sign up for. Once again, here's just a lot of information just on the landing page. Let's see how it goes, but let's just say you want to go into the portal. And here's, if I'm going to do it live, I will just select, I have it all saved in there to make it really easy for me. And here you go. So can you see when I just got into the portal? Okay. So once again, real quick, real briefly, just to run through here, has our 800 number. You can request live to talk to somebody and to get some help. There are the forms again, if you want to fill them out that way and not call in. But once again, on the top here as well, you can always go to the search, and let's just say you want some information on anxiety. You can click this tab here, put in the search bar anxiety. It'll bring up any type of video, skill set, articles, anything about anxiety that'll come up that you can look at. And you can look up as many information as you want. So it's always good. There's that search bar available. Then we have different categories. Under the family category, you'll also look down here. It'll tell you any other related topic that might fall underneath the family category. The financial category. So once again, you can just continue to dig deeper and deeper into any of these categories to find the information that you're looking for. And then if you scroll down, I guess I'm still in the, let me go back here. Yeah, so this was kind of the home page when it opens up here. But as you scroll down here, they will just give you some kind of around what's going on since it is the holiday and Halloween's kind of out. So it'll kind of give you some pertinent information that you can click on. Maybe it's job burnout right now. You can click on that and get some more information. And then you can always go back to the home screen. But what I want to do is, as you're scrolling down here, you can immediately register for an event that's coming up. That's available to you. If you scroll down further though, you want to take an assessment. You can go on here and click and pick any assessment you want to take, and then you can save all of this. If this is yours for your own personal information. A lot of the soft skill courses, I'm just going to click on one of these. You might want to take there as a group. You might want to take them about maybe how to improve communication. You want to go through a skill set of building teamwork for everybody, helping change people's attitudes and work ethics. There's just a lot of these that you can do just for yourself or as team members.
I'm curious, what is the source of your soft skills? I mean, I'm assuming that you contract with other, entities for some of this content. Do you
right? So this is all part of the My Life Expert that they vet the information and they put it in here.
So it's originally yours? Or?
Yeah, well, it's through the My Life Expert, and we partner with My Life Expert.
Okay. So
they put this information available to all the different companies that use the Encompass benefit. And then a lot of the webinars, the recorded webinars, are things that any one of us through our EAP and Encompass or any of the other EAPs involved will put together the webinars and put them available to everybody.
Great, great. We have access to some things through the Library of Michigan and through other entities in the state for, that serve libraries. And I was just curious if it was the same, same source or different source.
Yeah, and it may be a little bit of both. I'm not exactly sure where they get all the wealth of their information.
Right, of course. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so the other thing I wanted just to pick is, let's just say, obviously you're all starting October 1st, but maybe there's some really great webinars that happened, within the last 6 months, and you want to see what they were. All you have to do is hit the recorded webinars, scroll down, and you're like, oh, wow, I really kind of wanted to know what my learning style was, but I missed that, a couple months ago. So you can get on here and you can watch that because it's archived here. Once again, if you can see page 1, 2, 3, you can just kind of keep looking back. If there's a certain type of information that you're looking for, you can go in there and kind of see everything that is listed. What else is up here? Just trying to pick out some really neat things. There is Marketplace. I want to excellent click in it. But if you go to Marketplace, there's a lot of information. I actually went to Marketplace because I was in need of a new personal laptop. So what I did was kind of look at what deals were going on here. And I also then Googled what was available during Best Buy and different opportunities. And I did find that I got a Dell computer through the Marketplace that was a little bit cheaper than going on to Best Buy or different information. So there's a lot of information that you can look for under the discounted Marketplace. Different categories, whether it's travel, trying to get tickets, the electronics, you want to buy an automobile. There's just a lot of different categories here that if you kind of want to see what bargains are going on here and compare it to elsewhere as well, that's available to you as well through the My Life Expert. No, yeah. And once again, here's different little categories if you want to just find the different categories here. So any questions, comments about, let's see, why isn't this going back to my home page now? There we go. I want to just make sure that we have some time to answer some questions. I know I threw a lot of information out there really quickly. But I want to just leave some time now. If anybody has questions that you can think of, Patty, I see your hand. I can't. Okay, let me get myself back up here now.
Okay. I wondered, what kind of handouts do you have or things that we should be printing off to give to our staff? I'm planning a staff meeting to explain some of this, but I would love something to just hand them and say, here's what you do.
So Cheryl, do you want to say, so we have like a one-page flyer or two-page flyer, both sides, that will list kind of all the different things that, and give a brief paragraph of what they are. You know, so that'll be. Go ahead.
I printed some of these out. I think they were available. I'm trying to remember which ones I had at the annual meeting, but you know, people may not have been able to grab them at that point. We just had that last week. But I'm going to post the PDFs on this website so that you can print them out yourself. I'm glad to send you a whole bunch. So you can just let me know if you need, you know, want me to print them out for you. I may actually just proactively do that and send some in rides to everybody. But, you know, just to remind you, because, you know, like things happen and you forget, oh yeah, there's that service. And there's so much here that I think it's a habit that we need to form a little bit, you know, by telling, you know, reminding our staff and ourselves that this is here for us. So I'm intending to use it and, you know, sort of use different parts of it so that I can, you know, then inform others of what my experience was and what they might want to do, or just kind of keep reminding you that it's there. So I will definitely have those for you, Patty.
Okay, and if you sent us a few, we can make off the copies for everybody. Does the paper that you're sending us, does it have what you had on your screen there, Maria? Does it have, like, you know, 5 times per issue, 30-minute sessions, that kind of thing too, or isn't that on there? Do they get that from the site?
I should have had that handy written for me, and I don't know if you have it. I'm afraid to move my computer because I might lose you all.
Yeah, it doesn't have some of the specifics. It has a lot of the specifics though, Patty. And so it doesn't say anything about the 30-minute sessions, but it does have, I don't know if you can see this, it's this form here. It's double-sided. Yep. It's got an awful lot on it. Now, my one question though is it has company code as TLN-BPL.
Oh, you know what? That didn't get changed. That's a bad, that was created from the library network. Yeah. You know.
So that should be the MMLLEAP.
Yep. And I think you should have a clean one with that on there, Cheryl.
Okay.
I believe it.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. You know,
Don't worry about
So we will
You know me,
all
I take
it out. Make sure you have all the right our stuff.
Yeah.
Somehow I missed them completely, so I won't even worry about looking for it then. And I'll wait for the clean one that has the
Correct
new
number,
code on it to give
Yep.
to my staff. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
I'll follow up after this meeting, and I'll send out to the director list all the information that you need. And then I will probably then further follow up by printing some things out and sending to each member library, because there's a lot of libraries that, you know, their director's not on today. So
also, Cheryl, to your point of keeping it, we will put it on the agendas for advisory council every time. So whether it's an informal meeting or a formal meeting, it'll just be one of those agenda items so that we can just see, has anybody got any questions? But if it's in front of you at advisory meetings, at least twice a month, you'll get reminded.
And that'd be good, because then, like, if somebody's actually using it, we can watch for glitches.
Yep.
And it'll, I think it'd be good to just know that people are using it. If they're not, then if it's not a service that people use, and we need to know that.
But it's like anything else, the language one, everything else. If it isn't in front of us every once in a while, we just forget.
And Sarah,
you to kind of play around with it a little bit, because I'm sure there's something going on that you might have interest, whether it's the My Life Expert or the personal assistant. You know,
and
just
Sarah, you are our person, right? Our account manager.
Yes.
So if there's anything that we have questions about, or isn't going correctly,
absolutely.
You're the person. Yay.
Yep. And is it just directors or different people on the call?
Right
like
now, this call is our advisory council, which is just the directors.
Okay.
But we, you know, can obviously share this video out on the page that anybody could see, that staff at any of the member libraries. But right now, we're just talking to directors. Okay.
So one of the things I'll put out there too is we are always available as well. And you know, if I'm not available, any one of us, we have people, that's part of their job as different account managers. If you have any type of questions, you want a consultation about something going on in the workplace or an issue that comes up, please feel free to give us a call. It doesn't have to be you're coming for counseling, but it's what we call an organizational consult.
Okay.
You know, you just have a question about something, you know, maybe it's difficulty with an employee, you're not really sure what to do, and you just want to kind of run it by somebody. We are available for that.
Is it possible for, sorry.
I was just going to say, can you expand on that? Because I think you and I spoke about this particular thing and that you might be able to expand on.
Right. So what we do offer too, and I thought if there was enough interest, Cheryl and I were going to see about then doing maybe a later training on a supervisory referral, meaning let's just say there's an employee that is just not getting along with everybody and just causing a lot of disruptions and has a bad attitude and they've been talked about. And you're not really sure that maybe you're thinking something else is going on. You can use the EAP as a resource for them. And we have some that we call like an informal referral, meaning, you know, gee, Maria, you know, it just seems lately that, you know, your attitude's been a little more negative. I know you've been talking that there's really a lot going on in your life. And I just really wanted to remind you that you have the EAP because I really hope that things get better for you and that you take advantage of this service. You know, that was what we would call an informal referral to us.
Sounds like maybe directors might be able to self-refer as well.
Oh, yeah. And then you have what we call the more formal referral, meaning somebody, let's say, might be in the performance improvement process or whatever it is that you have going on. And then you make it part of a mandatory referral that they come in and see somebody to work on whatever those whatever those issues are. And as part of that then is so I might, maybe someone gets referred and I end up seeing them as the counselor. I kind of walk through the process so that everybody's on the same page. And then it's my role is to get back to the director or the supervisor, who's ever making the referral of, yes, the person's coming in. This is what the recommendations are. We do not share personal information. We do not share the clinical information. And I make sure that everybody knows that piece of it. And we're just really making sure that this is an opportunity for an employee to actually get the services they need so that they can continue on with their job and do good at it.
Are we able to get a copy of the slides that you just presented today?
Sure. Absolutely. I can.
I'm just thinking I'm also going to have a staff meeting in another month or so, and that's when I'm going to introduce this, and it would really be helpful. I'm not going to be as good as you, but at least it will give them some of the basic information beyond a piece of paper.
Absolutely.
That would be great. Thanks.
Yep. What else? Any other questions? Like I said, you have, you may think of a lot of them later on. So I am available. So just a little bit more, just so that, not only am I an account manager, I'm also the account manager for the library network and several other organizations that we have, but I am also a clinician. So part of my job is seeing clients to face. I'm also a life coach. So I provide life coaching services. I'm also part of the affiliate network management team. So if it's not somebody that comes directly into one of our offices, I help with different providers that people get set up with. So I'm on that team as well. So I have a lot of different hats. So, but I'm also, send me emails, giving me a call can be easy just to touch base.
Feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for now.
After we get going, I bet you though there will be.
No, that's okay. That is okay. And whether you go through Cheryl to me or you reach out to me, does not matter. We just want to make sure that you get all the materials, and I will. I'll send. So Cindy, I'll send Cheryl this PowerPoint and everything, and she can pass it on to you to use.
Yeah. I think what I'll do is I just have a central space on our website for all these resources, okay. And then. Honestly, we might ask you to do another webinar for us, Maria. That would be probably nice. After we get going for a while, we might want you back.
No, that's not a problem. Okay. All right, well, good. Well, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your week. It was nice meeting you.
All right. Thank you so much, Maria.
All right. See you later.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.